Hi everyone, it's me, Andrea. Today I'm here with an art journal page, and it's a black page actually, so I gessoed it already. It's one of my old photo albums I use now for an art journal. So I'm putting down different colors of acrylic paint, and on top of each other, the layers in between I let dry, or heat dry it. I won't show you that. So I wanted to achieve, as usual, you know me, I like that, a distressed look. So this orange I put on top quite or fairly thick and left it really wet because I wanted to take it off, partially off, with a stencil. You will see I use a Stencil Girl stencil. This one, I really like that. I can't tell you what it calls, but it's fantastic. I think it's a Jessica Spawn stencil. Not sure, but I think so. Or design, and she designs for Stencil Girl. So on both sides, and I went here over it. Over the other side, it's still wet. Doesn't matter. Shouldn't look neat. Can look messy. And I will show you the result here. You know, I took off a bit of the paint there, and I really like that. So, but I go over it with acrylic paint, white acrylic paint, but it won't stay like that. So I use, first thing I do is go over it with dry kitchen paper and remove quite a bit of it, and then I use a wet baby towel again with a dry one, and then with a wet baby towel again, or baby wipe. I always said baby towel. And now I put down some book pages, different languages actually. I got this Czech book pages from Martina. I put some down. Thank you, Martina. And some of my old books I have, and in Swiss German and in German, and put it down with Mod Podge. I didn't want to make a transfer here. I only wanted to have this messy look, distressed look. So I tear off or everything what's loose now, and but I wanted to have them a bit more in the background, so I sprayed water over it and use gesso and to tone it down, to thin it down a bit. And here I use distress ink over this plastic grid, and that's vintage photo it is, yeah. So, and still I wasn't satisfied. I think I start to stamp now. This wood grain stamp, it's from Obsession, or Obsession Impression. I think you know them, that this 6x6 stamps, I really like them a lot. I quite have a lot of them. And at this stage, before I stamped it down, this looked to me like an old wooden flooring, you know, and that's why I put the wooden grain stamp on top. And I used this crackle stamp, crackle image stamp from Obsession Impression as well, and this script stamp from Tim Hall's Reflection. And that's what it did to me. And because of this old wooden flooring, I thought about, after refurbishing, you know, was left with all this paint drops, and I did use gesso and this green paint and unthinned to have these big blobs. Took me a while to get that dry. So, and then this is a bit, it's a bit left over from jelly plate work I've done on a newspaper. It's quite thin, so it gave me a hard time to edge that with this archival ink. And I've torn off a bit the edges, and I Mod Podged it down in wrinkles a bit. and you will see afterwards why, because you know that's on this wooden flooring after all this refurbishment has taken place, and so I wanted to have shoe prints on top, you know, have been trotted on, and that's why it's so wrinkly, and that's what I had to make first because I didn't have that and I can't paint that. So yeah, of course I draw it a bit on a sketchy draw, and then on the plastic foil, of course. Yeah, I can draw a bit, but yeah. But I think it's quite handy to have this stencil. Yeah, go around to shade a bit and to make it pop a bit more. But then I wasn't satisfied with this footprints or shoe prints. To me, they were very flat. I wanted to have them a bit more dimensional. And I tried quite a bit, you know, white Sharpie, and went around with this Stabilo oil in graphite, and then with water. Just got a message, sorry. But it didn't work. Nothing worked to me. And here I use two different shades of brown, I think, light and dark brown. Burnt umber and sienna, I think, yeah. And it was okay. It looked quite good, but it didn't give the dimension. So I did that to both. I only show you one. And after that, I went over it with white, with gesso, and yeah, even that, yeah, it was okay. You know, a shoe print is never quite black only, but still, it wasn't dimensional to me, and yeah, I left it behind. And then the next day, I thought, yeah, that's what you have to do, emboss it. So that's Versamark. I went over with a cosmetic sponge, and then I used this Tim Holtz Distress Embossing Powder in rust. Yeah, I cleaned the edges a bit because with this cosmetic sponge you can't really work that precise. And yeah, I was much more pleased with that result. Okay, you can't really see that. You need to touch it and see it in real life. So that's my sentiment or my saying, and this time it's in German, because the page now turned out to be very personal about my situation at the moment, you know, looking for a house, wanting to move into Germany, back into a different country again, and all this hassle, having a new job and everything. And it says, was bleibt zurück, wenn ich gehe? And that means, what stays behind when I leave or when I go? And that's, yeah, that's absolutely about my situation at the moment. So subconsciously, I went for this. It was clear for me a bit later then. So here I etch with archival ink, and after that I go around the sayings and to make it pop a bit more. First with a Pitt pen, and then with a Stabilo all in black, and blend it with a blending stump. And I think that's it. So I will show you a close-up now, I think. Yeah, that's right. So that's a close-up, and that's my journal page for today. At the end you will see some photos as usual, and already I thank you a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you with the video next time soon. Bye bye.